Hello PreCalc, how you doing? We're looking at the November 10th edition of this video. So, November 10th, and we're going to look at the law of sines. Alright, when we're studying the law of sines, you may remember having it in geometry because you had it. So this is sort of a review, so you can relax and enjoy it, but write it down. Before I go into the law of sines, we have been studying equations, solving trig equations for quite a while, and it really should wrap that up at some point. But we just had a test, and so let's just go ahead and I'll teach you the law of sines in one topic that's close to it, the law of cosines, and then we'll have a test. And this will be a quick topic, so we should be able to have a test before the Thanksgiving break. So keep that on your mental scope of things. Alright, we're going to look then at what we're looking at when we're doing the law of sines is we're solving triangles. And they're no longer right triangles. They don't have to have right angles in them anymore, so this is quite advanced. We call those oblique triangles when they have no right angles in them. And when we say solving, we mean find 6 parts. And the 6 parts that I'm talking about of a triangle are going to be the 3 angles and the 3 opposite sides. So notice how I denote them. The angles I write with capital letters, and the sides, like across from capital A, is side A. So the relationship of the angle to the side opposite is indicated with a capital A and a small a. Capital A being the angle, small a being the side. And the same for B and C. So, we can use the law of sines when we know a pair. So if you know a pair, you can use the law of sines. So what in the world is a pair? A pair is an angle and the side opposite. So if you know one pair, you can use the law of sines to find the rest of the 4 parts. And that's called solving a triangle. Sort of like solving a mystery, isn't it? Alright. Let me give you the law of sines. The law of sines in its glory is going to be little a, so that indicates a side of a triangle, over sine of the angle opposite, equals b over sine b, equals c over sine c. Does that look familiar? Hopefully. So, and the reciprocal of that is also the law of sines. So we could flip that and say sine A over little a equals sine B over little b equals sine C over little c. I prefer this one, but if you prefer this one, it's up to you. I usually teach it with that one, but either one will work. So let's do an example. I'm going to, I don't think I have room in this video to do the whole example. So let me go ahead and erase part of it. And when I erase this, I'll rewrite the law of sines, but get rid of the rest of this. Alright. So I'm going to use my version. So the law of sines says little a over sine A equals little b over sine B equals little c over sine C. Now, when I do that, when I use the actual problem, I only use 2 of these, 2 we call it a proportion, when we have two ratios that are set equal with an equal sign in between, I'll either use these two, or these two. So I only use two at a time. So going from there, let's do our first one. Let's say sometimes the problem is just presented like this. And we'll decide if we have a pair or not. It'll be a very short video if we don't. Alright, little b is 27.4. And the unit for this one happens to be feet. So I'll put that in at the end, but I won't work with a unit in the middle of my work. Alright, so let's give a sketch here. Alright, this is a pretty big angle, greater than 90, so 102.3, sounds like a radio station, is C, and across from that is little c. We'll call this A and B. We know B is 28.7, and we know little b is 27.4. I'll mark little a. So I set up the problem as given, and notice I do know a pair. So I know this angle and the side opposite. So that's a pair. So it qualifies for the law of sines. So here we go. I'm going to set up this proportion using sine little b over sine b. So and then I can use either A or C. Since some of my scrap paper here I used something. I used this one, of course. Alright, so I'm going to use this proportion and this proportion to get started. So little b, 27.4 over sine of 28.7 degrees equals. So now I'm going to do little c, which is unknown, over sine of big C, 102.3. Alright, so that's the math station. Let's solve that for little c. And again, what our goal is to find all the missing parts. So we need this one and this one and this one. So solving that for c, all I have to do is multiply both sides by sine 102.3. So it disappears from this side and appears on that side. 27.4 sine 102.3 is now on the left. The denom is the same. And over here, this is gone and it equals little c. So tippy tap. Do I hear the calculators going? So tippy tap, 27.4 times sine of 102.3 degrees divided by sine of 28.7 degrees. And when you do that, you'll see that c equals little c equals little c, equals 55.75. Alright, so that's that. So I'm going to put it on my picture, 55.75, and that's in feet. I can find angle A, I forgot, without the law of sines, because we know in any triangle, whether it's a right triangle or not, that the three angles add up to 180. Alright, so if I take 180, I have room here without writing on my face, 180 minus 28.7 minus 102.3 can give us the angle here. And when I did that, I got 49 degrees. So 49 goes here. Because again, all three angles add up to 180. And lastly, I have little a to find, so I'm going to use one of my proportions. How about this one this time? So I have little a is what I'm looking for over sine of big A, which I now know is 49, equals little b, which I know is 27.4, over sine of 28, big B, 28.7. Solve that for A by multiplying both sides by by sine of 49. So it'll disappear from this side and appear over here. So if you tippy tap, 27.4 times sine of 49 divided by sine of 28.7, you will see that A equals 43.06. And I'll put that on my picture. And that is in feet. Look at all this wonderful math. Alright, the magic of it all. So notice I have 6 parts that are known now, and I have solved that triangle. You'll be able to do that tomorrow during class, so bring your comp book and bring your mind and bring your memory. So look over this a couple times before you shut the comp book, so you'll be set to go tomorrow. So, till that magic moment, we are done.